Man down, strap season, and the new IBF welterweight world champion, Errol "The Truth" Spence. And he just proved his nickname correct there. He is indeed The Truth. This was a fantastic fight. It was the kind of fight I expected, highly competitive. Just like I said in my pre-fight breakdown, Kell Brook was the better long-range boxer, the sharper guy at long range. And in the early rounds particularly, he was outboxing Errol Spence for long stretches on the outside. But Spence invested heavily to the body in the first half of the fight, and it paid dividends towards the end of the fight. Although Brook held up very, very well most of the way through the fight under Spence's body attack. In fact, it got to one stage around maybe 7, 8, 9, those kind of rounds, maybe actually 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, those rounds where I was thinking that the body attack from Errol Spence was having no effect on Kell Brook because he didn't seem to be slowing up, or perhaps he was just hiding it very well, because eventually he came apart in rounds 9, 10, and 11. He slowed down considerably. In fact, from round 8, Errol Spence had a good round in round 8. Brook had a good round in round 7. I gave it to Brook. Spence kind of took round 7 off. Spence came back in round 8. Round 9, 10, 11, he stepped it up. He obviously dropped Kell Brook. I believe it was in the, correct me if I'm wrong, 10th. And he dropped him again in the 11th. Actually, Brook took a voluntary knee in the 11th and didn't get back up. He seemed to be complaining about his eye. I believe it was his left eye. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, his right eye was the one that was injured in the Triple G fight. So I'm not sure why he quit there. If he was having blurred vision, if he was worried about his eye, maybe losing his sight after going through the operation he had on his other eye, having his eye removed and all that kind of stuff and a titanium plate put in. Perhaps he's had another fractured eye socket on the other eye this time. If it is the other eye, I don't know. But for whatever reason, Kell Brook quit in the 11th round. And Spence was cranking up the pressure. I'd noticed Brook's eye swelling up a few rounds before that. And obviously Brook showed a lot of heart in the 9th and 10th round. He was under a hell of a lot of fire from Errol Spence. I think it was the 10th. That was a really torrid round for Kell Brook. Really wasn't doing anything. Spence was marching forward, relentlessly getting shots off. And eventually it was too much for Kell Brook and he quit in the 11th round. We have a new IBF welterweight world champion and a new star in the division. There was a lot of naysayers shooting down Errol Brook, saying he's just another Jeff Lacey. He's a hype job. Kell Brook's going to do him in. All those people have to eat their words now. Not like how I was against Kell Brook or anything like that. I did pick Errol Spence to win this fight. And now you see why. Because this is what Errol Spence does. People say that he's too basic to beat Kell Brook. Well, he isn't a guy who is the most athletically blessed. He's athletic, but he's not an athletic beast. He don't have the quickest hands. He's not even the biggest one-punch knockout kind of guy. But he has that kind of relentlessness, that fitness, that determination, the dedication to body work, and good sound fundamentals. You know, not spectacular fundamentals, but good sound fundamentals. And when you put it all together, combined with his determination and his toughness, he showed he had a chin in this fight against Kell Brook, because Kell Brook landed plenty of them chocolate brownies. But Spence was not deterred. He was maybe, you know, hurt a little bit, or maybe shaken up, or at least buzzed maybe slightly by some of the chocolate brownies, but he managed to take them well. He took a lot of flush punches in there from Kell Brook. Brook, to his credit, also took Spence's headshots pretty well all the way through the fight. In the end, it was just Spence's work rate, determination, and body attack that took Kell Brook out. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go back and listen to the post-fight interview here, which Kell Brook is doing in Eddie Hearn, because I want to hear what Kell Brook says about the eye. Maybe some of you guys can tell me in the comment section below. But, yeah, great fight. Excellent fight. But Errol Spence proved he's the truth. A lot of those Kell Brook fans are going to be disappointed now. And again, I don't want to make this a fanboy war or anything like that, but I do feel like a lot of the Kell Brook fans were kind of being overly dismissive of Errol Spence, saying that he's another Jeff Lacey and all this kind of stuff. Look, he was never no Jeff Lacey. He was always a lot better than that. And no disrespect to Kell Brook, but Brook is no Joe Calzaghe. So that was never a good analogy to make as far as I'm concerned. You know, never a good comparison, comparing Brook to Calzaghe. He's no Calzaghe, man. You know, Calzaghe on another level to Kell Brook, and Errol Spence clearly on another level to Jeff Lacey. It was wishful thinking. You know, so we'll see where Errol Spence goes from here. Like to see him fight Keith Thurman. like to see him fight Sean Porter. All the top guys are 147. You still got people like Pacquiao, Tim Bradley out there. Maybe if Terence Crawford moves up to 147, Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. Great fights and a great, interesting future for Errol Spence Jr. Drop your comments in the comment section below. Let me know how you felt about the fight. How much of a factor was the weight for Kell Brook? How much a factor was his eye? If it was the same eye that got injured in the Golovkin fight, you let me know what you think. How far can Spence go? Who would you like to see him fight? Where should Brook go from here? I don't think he has a rematch clause because Spence was the mandatory challenger. So he's unlikely to be getting a rematch anytime soon. And if he does, he'll probably be in the US. Let me know how you feel about it, people. It's happening.